What's good, everybody? It's your girl, Shantae Presley, and thank you so much for tuning in to TaeTalkTV, episode 10. I'm joined here with my lovely guest, Miss Erica A.
Hello, and welcome. Thanks for tuning in and wasting.
How are you doing, Miss Erica?
I'm doing all right. It's hot today. It's been hot all week. I'm like, when is this gonna stop? Because usually in Washington we don't get such hot weather, and we don't have air conditioners here, so it's horrible.
No.
I didn't really do anything. I didn't have any work that I had to do. I did edit a few things, but nothing too usual. So what did you do today, this week, or whatever?
Well, I did my hair for the first time in I don't know how long.
It looks good though.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I actually took some time with it. I went out for the first time in a long time yesterday, just with all the COVID and everything going on. I was a little reluctant, but I realized I didn't miss much. I was like, I'd rather be at home. But yeah, like I said, it's the first time I've been out. And
I recently had COVID, so.
How was it being out after having COVID? Were you nervous?
I was beyond nervous just because having COVID, if you haven't had it, I'm telling you, it's nothing that you want to experience.
Yeah. So were you nervous being around people? Did you double mask it? Did you double glove it? What were the security precautions that you took being out there for the first time?
I did mask it. I didn't double mask it, only because I just have such a hard time breathing through the masks.
Yeah.
So I didn't double mask, but I definitely kept my distance from people. Like, I just stayed close to Chris. We kind of were just like isolated to ourselves to the point that like people were like, "Are you guys bored?" I felt bad, but I'm like, "It's not you guys, I promise." I'm just like super nervous. But
yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, and then everyone's of course asking like, "Are you gonna get vaccinated?" And I'm just like,
so have you changed your mind since the last time we spoke about it?
So I've definitely talked to a few more people since then, and I it's not that I'm even really against the vaccinations. I don't think that they're trying to chip us. I don't think,
So you don't think there's some conspiracy theory going on or anything like that?
No, do I trust the government? No, I don't. Do I want to kind of see how things pan out and how like this affects other people? That's kind of what I was trying to do, just wait it out to see like what the side effects were and how people responded to it, if anyone dropped dead or anything like that, anything crazy. But now I just hate that it's feeling like you're being bullied into it. So it's almost like not a choice anymore. They're like mandating it for recreational stuff, like going to the movies or going out to eat, going to the comedy club, stuff like that, where it's just like I don't know, it just seems a little forced, like you don't have a choice in it, like they're taking away your human rights, I guess.
Sometimes I think, okay, what is their agenda behind like trying to really make us do you have to do it or this? And then I think, okay, all these people died and it's something that never happened before, and then maybe that's the reason why they're trying to rush us to do things. But in the back of my head, I'm like, I don't know. I'm still I don't know. It's not like, and I also think like you, I don't think it's because of some chipped or whatever. I was in the military, so if they want to find me, they're going to find me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I just feel like I just want to see. I just want to wait it out just for a few seconds. Like I really have people like ask me like, when are you going to get it? And I'll just say like, oh, when I go back to the VA, when I go to my appointment. And then it's like, so when's your appointment? So it's like, I don't feel like talking about all this. I don't know. I feel like when I get it, I get it. I'm not around anyone, I just stay where I'm supposed to stay. When I go to work, I stay in my little bubble. I don't want nobody in my area. I don't know. I'm just not. I just want to wait a few minutes,
Me too. And I feel like they're making that really hard. Us being actresses and being in the industry,
you have to have like all the tests, and some of them require you to have the vaccine now. So
yeah, it's getting to that point where like the more I'm submitting to things, I'm finding that they're requiring full vaccination, and they want to see your vax card. I have a friend who says that she was booked for a few months, like with a few sets, and They reached out to her and told her, like, since she's not vaccinated, she can no longer be a part. Yeah, it's getting crazy. And it's almost like this divide, I feel like, is being created between pro-vaxxers and vaxxers. And that's starting to bother me. You got people wearing shirts that say pro-vaxxer. Like, I don't know if you saw the one Kerry Washington was wearing.
No.
And it's almost becoming...
I've seen a lot of the celebrities doing like commercials and doing like little ads on social media, stuff like that. You know, and I don't know. I don't even feel like, okay, they're getting paid, so someone's forcing them to do this. That's their job, and maybe people will see them as being, oh, this big celebrity.
But yeah, do you feel like there's being a divide created, or do you feel like the divide is intentional? You feel like...
I feel like, I think people are starting to see a divide because it definitely is. It is because they have the people that are vaccinated and people that aren't. To go to some recreational events, you have to either be vaccinated or sit on this side, and so they are separating us, but they're separating us because, it is what it is. These are the people that got it and these are the people that haven't got it. That's just, how it is. Like, and sometimes people that got the shot, they don't want to sit next to someone else. I know my mom, when she was here visiting, she didn't want to go and, be around people that, weren't vaccinated. So we mostly stayed home and, I didn't mind, but you know what I'm saying? We mostly stayed in the house because she didn't want to be around, unvaccinated people. And I didn't want to be like, oh my God, I'm not vaccinated. And I'm just like, but I would stay in the room, I would do my work and I would go to work sometimes. But I'm just like, I don't know. I did kind of feel guilty because it wasn't my first thought to maybe go and get the shot because she was here, because she came. But then I was like, that would just be the first shot. By the time I got the second one, she would be gone already. Is that going to do anything? And I just, I mostly just stayed how I did. I mostly quarantine all the time anyways, because I'm in here, I don't invite people over and no stuff like that. So. Right. I didn't feel guilty about that, but I do feel like there is like a, kind of split between everybody. But with schools and everything, you have to be vaccinated for your kids. Your kids have to be vaccinated to go to school. So,
wow.
Adults have never had, but I know in the military, everywhere we went, we had to be vaccinated. We had to get some kind of shot to go everywhere. So. Yeah. I don't know. It's not really in my head that way, because I always was made to have to get some kind of shot, get some kind of vaccination.
That's true. And I feel like, and that's why I'm not totally against it either. Obviously, as a kid, I was vaccinated and it was against my will. I was a baby. So vaccinated for chickenpox, measles, polio, things like that. That's like, okay, thank goodness for this vaccination. So that's why I'm not totally against it, but I can't say that I'm for it because it's just interesting to me how fast it came out. So I feel like there's no way that it could have been.
It needs to be worked on a little more because, there was a rush for it. There was a need for it to be rushed. But, I just feel like, I don't want to be, I just want to wait till it's ready.
Dummy. Yeah. I don't want to be the guinea pig that, the experiment goes wrong on. And now 10 years later, there's some commercial that's saying if you took the COVID.
With a small print down at the bottom. Yeah. I just want to wait out. Until then, I'm going to do the precautions to keep myself safe, where I'm not around other people. I know that, if I'm not vaccinated, I'm not going to put myself in situations around people that are vaccinated or, in unhealthy situations like that. So, it's just like I'm vaccinated anyways.
Right. Yes. And I think that it should be that if you are taking the necessary precautions, you don't test positive for COVID, you stay for the most part indoors or 6
you stay in your lane, do what you're supposed to do. You're not around licking stuff,
Right. I feel like you should be allowed to still enjoy movies. The mall, I don't know about the mall, but I know like New York has just been getting really, really strict with their enforcing those regulations. So I'm curious to see if LA follows suit.
I know you guys got some more rules going on. What have you, are they going to stop, people going to work? What is going to happen there? Are they going to, keep things the way it is?
When the Delta variant first came out, I thought that was going to be the case because they were talking about shutting everything back down. But, and this is when I was in Ohio. I went to Ohio to visit, and they were talking about shutting everything down. So I thought when I came back, everything would be shutting down. Little do I know, I myself had contracted COVID.
Do you think you got it when you went to Ohio, or, you know?
I definitely think I got it on the plane. I think it was on the plane. I could feel
the air is
COVID.
Just recirculating back and forth. Yeah.
Because, you know, obviously you can't be 6 feet apart on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly, like, at the moment, I could feel my ear. I thought it was popping. But then when I got off the plane, like, it was just a different feeling. It was like, that's not my ear popping. It kind of started turning into, like, more of a headache. Yeah. That was, like, ringing in my ears and just, like, my eyes. Yeah, it was kind of one of those headaches. And then I just started to cough. I had the cough. It wasn't severe like it was the first time I had it. So I'm a second-time COVID survivor.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And I can honestly say, like, I was just mostly tired, slight headache, and coughing. And that was about it this time around. But the first time, oh, my goodness, felt like death. So
yeah, I know I would be laid out somewhere, laid out.
I slept for 3 days straight. Like, every time I attempted to get out of bed, I was just like, nah.
That's what I heard, that it just makes you so tired and everything just hurts like crazy. It just makes you worry. Like, I know when Christopher said he had it, I was like, oh, Lord, Christopher done got the COVID. Oh, my goodness. And so I was just so worried. I didn't know, like, you know, what do you do? Like, I don't know.
Luckily, I mean, he's young and he's healthy. So that's, like, the good thing. But, you know, obviously, even still, you want to stay inside because you don't want other people to get it. You don't want to pass it on to someone who isn't as young or healthy. Or, you know, not that you necessarily have to be young. Because, you know, young people still die from it too, but just like you have a compromise.
People here that are in the hospital for it, like under like 15, like teenagers, because, you know, before they were saying that younger children and kids weren't getting COVID, you know, last year they weren't saying that, but now they're all getting it. And I'm just like, man, how do you know if it's a different, you know, if it's like a stranger to us all, this disease or whatever? How do you know who it affects? You don't know if it affects kids or how long it takes to affect kids. I think everybody should have been, you know, preparing, like, okay, we don't know what it's going to do for these kids. We don't know if they're going to get sick or not. So I think we should just, everybody wear a mask, or, you know, if you can or whatever. So I don't know.
I definitely think we should keep enforcing that. Like, what I can say LA has been doing is we pretty much still have to wear masks. And if you, I don't know if Chris told you, but we didn't, like, though they stopped enforcing that on June 15th. So we didn't even really get to enjoy, like, not having to wear masks that long before it became that we had to wear it again because of the Delta variant. So yeah, nothing's really changed around here except for you can go out to eat and stuff, you know.
I don't mind not wearing it. I love wearing the mask sometimes. I just wear I will wear it at work all the time. They'll be like, you know, we don't have to wear it. Yes, we do. Get away from my desk. We wearing this mask. Everybody wearing it. Yeah, I'm like, I just don't know. Like, people are just getting it all the time. And they're just like, oh, I had COVID. When? When did you get it? You didn't even tell me. I thought you was at work last week. Like, when did you get COVID? So I just want to know. That's why I don't mind working from home, because ain't nobody in here got it. So, you know.
Right. Yeah, well, I think it's so hard to say. Every time I'm like, I think I might get the vaccine, then I don't even want to say my pride, but it's just like something that's telling me just to do my own research. Like, don't do it just because people are making you feel like you have to. You believe it's the right thing. So still do some research.
Yeah, I don't know. I do hear a lot about it, but I don't even think about it that much to even be like, you know, I'm going to get it or whatever. I don't know. I had a doctor's appointment. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to get it at my doctor's appointment. I forgot all about that. It's just like when they ask you, do you want to get the flu shot? If you don't ask me, I'm not going to remember. I'm not going to remind you of no shot. So I don't know. I've
never had the flu shot.
You never had a flu shot? Have you ever got the flu?
No.
Oh my God.
No. The COVID is probably the worst thing I've ever experienced. I never had the flu. I've never, you know, not jinxing. I don't want to jinx anything, but for the most part, I've never really experienced anything even remotely close to that. COVID was the worst thing I've ever experienced.
Oh my goodness, I get the flu all the damn time.
Really?
Yeah, even if I don't get the shot, I'll still get the flu. Not since COVID has been, I haven't been sick at all since COVID's been, since like last year, year before, something like that. But yeah, I used to get sick all the time. But now I just stay inside and.
That's true. That's true. Well, in other news, Rihanna was just named a billionaire.
Okay,
so,
Rihanna.
Yeah, so she joins the club with LeBron James, Kanye West, and Jay-Z as a billionaire.
I love Rihanna because she just moves in silence, like secret squirrel missions all the time. I love it. And she doesn't have to sing. She got her foot in the door with that singing and she just moved on to other stuff. And I think it's so cool. I love that.
It is cool. It's amazing because, I remember when she first came out in 2006 with Pound the Replay. I was in 6th grade.
That's 6th grade.
Yeah, that was my song. So, and when I watch her, obviously I'm in 6th grade, so I'm not really thinking about her future or anything like that, or really so much even my future, but just I never thought that she'd be a billionaire. What was 2006 like for you?
Oh my God, 2006. Memories. It was so long ago. I remember Christopher was like, I don't even think Christopher was born in 2000. Damn, that was a long time ago. Wait, no, he was 2006. You see, I'm so old, I can't even get my dates right. I'm like 2006, 1996. Wait, 1997. Yeah, see, you can't ask people over a certain age dates. I'm like, what? What date is 2006? I remember back in 2006. No.
Well, what do you remember? What was going on in your life when you were hearing Pound the Replay?
Oh my God. I just remember being young and thinking that people that were a little younger than me were old. I definitely remember thinking I was just the shit. I was just young and I was just free and I can do anything. And if you were over 30, oh my God, you were just decrepit. You were old. Oh, what you doing out here with us? Why you old ass out here with us? And now I'm like looking back, I'm like, oh my God, did I call that lady old? And she was like 27. So now, yeah, I remember those days. I don't remember those dates, but I remember those days. Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah, it's insane to me just thinking about the fact that she's reached this status because in 2009, I wouldn't even say the height of her career, but obviously she's doing very well at this point. She almost filed bankruptcy because she had her former accountant who was mishandling her money. So it's crazy just to think like how at one point you have this woman who was almost filing bankruptcy and now she's to $1 billion outside of music.
Yeah, and you got to think that when they're coming out, they're so young. No one's giving them classes on financial literacy. They're not teaching them what to do with all this money that they're making. They're just excited to make this money. So they're like, I'm gonna get a car, I'm gonna get a house, I'm gonna buy all this stuff, but no one's teaching them how to really save their money, what to invest their money in. Of course, they're gonna, have problems with their finances because no one's teaching them how to keep their money. So yeah, that's understandable. And now she's like, whatever, bankruptcy, who,
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely a thing of the past. And it's really inspiring because like in the 90s, you had artists who would file bankruptcy even at the height of their career. And it's like it almost seemed impossible to move past that. People like MC Hammer. Tony Braxton was definitely able to turn it around.
TLC, they went bankrupt, and you always think like, what happened to all their money? They got all these videos, they dancing, they going in concerts, and you're not thinking that someone is ripping them off, or they're not making the money that we think, because they're on stage or in videos and stuff that they're making or whatever. And sometimes people are just taking that money, and they don't know that because they're, someone else is their accountant or someone else is handling things, So.
Exactly. Which I'm glad she was able to learn from that instead of kind of accepting it or like, letting it defeat her.
Not coming back from it. She came back from it, and you would have never known if you wasn't paying attention when she went bankrupt before. Now you paying attention.
So, right. It's crazy because I wouldn't have known she was or almost went bankrupt unless it was Tiana Taylor who said that on Twitter whenever they were beefing back then.
Really? See, I didn't know that. See, you wouldn't know unless that's something you heard, like, Yeah, because the way she's moving now, you'd be like, dang, okay, okay, Rihanna.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's super inspiring to see like all these black billionaires, because
Mhm.
when I was little, the only black billionaire I knew of was Oprah.
Oprah. Yeah, that's the only one they said. I was like, dang, Oprah.
Right.
He was just running everything. Because that's the only person they've really mentioned was Oprah all the time. It was never anyone else. Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. And it's crazy because now I feel like we're seeing more black faces that are, have reached this status, and it just seems more achievable now.
Mhm.
It's
Like
like,
you can like eventually get there. Before it was like, oh my God, I gotta get over this hurdle. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Oh my God. And now you're just like, you know what? Now that I see that it's achievable, then if I keep pushing or whatever, then you can get to wherever you can get to. But yeah, before it was only a sprinkle. It was just a few to where you were like, I don't know. Yeah.
yeah, and they're reaching like they're reaching $1 billion very young.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I don't know how old Oprah was when she reached $1 billion, but it almost seemed like that's something that you kind of get later on in life after you work
Yeah,
your whole
something
life.
that you achieve. That's what they make it seem like. That's something like a goal you're gonna get later on in life. Oh, when it's in the future, I'm just gonna be this. You're not thinking tomorrow. You're not, making that the prayer, for the universe. You're just saying in the future, I want to be this. Like, no, tomorrow, bitch, I want to be rich. I want to be doing this. I want to be doing that. So you're not thinking that's the way you're supposed to. I know back then that's not the way people were like, it was more realistic. Oh, you're not doing that. Oh, you want to do this? Yeah, okay. All
Yeah,
right, whatever, going to
yeah,
get still 9 to 5 so you can take care of that little dream you want to do. So now it's more like, oh, I want to do this thing. And I've been putting it off for this long and now I'm just gonna do it. So yeah.
exactly. Now it's more like, I feel like my nieces and nephews, they see how it is possible for someone who comes from a place like where we come from, that you
Mhm.
can become a billionaire. You can take your family out of poverty or debt, and you can actually have generational wealth.
Yeah.
So I hope that like this really has a positive impact on our community. I'm thinking it will. I
Yeah. Yeah.
um it's cool to see how much things have changed, because like I said, back in the day, you see someone, they go broke and that was it. It's almost like they didn't think that they could make other moves or reinvent
Yeah, it's
themselves.
like once it comes out that you've lost everything, it's like, okay, well, I've lost everything. It's over now. That was my time.
Right.
My little 15 minutes is over now. You're not thinking, okay, let me start from scratch. Let me go back. I did it before. Let me do it again and just start back over.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's how just, but now, MC Hammer's doing a few commercials and stuff like that. The little, I think Cheetos commercials or
Oh,
something.
nice.
I think he's
Oh,
I'm sure he's getting his money now,
well, that's good. I'm actually really happy to hear that. I am.
Yeah. I
I,
remember back when MC Hammer was popular, he would bring like his whole crew, all his family, all his friends. There'll be like 3 million people on stage with him. And, and that's probably why he went bankrupt trying to pay for everybody. You can't pay for everybody. You
Mhm.
can't bring everybody with you.
Yes, that is a very hard lesson to learn, especially in the Black community, because you do want to help your people. You
Yeah.
don't want to be the person that forgot about everybody or forgot where you came from.
Yeah, but you don't want to feel used. You don't feel like, okay, oh, now they need me. Where, now they're calling me. Now they're doing this. And where were they before? I'm more of a like, okay, if I ain't seen you yesterday, why you here today? That's how I am, that kind of person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like the pop up, like, oh, girl, I've been looking for you forever. I'm so glad I.
Another person I wanted to give a shout out to was Angela Bassett, who I heard is now
Yeah, oh my
earning
goodness.
450,000.
Anti-Vaxxer is rocking it. I mean, just beautiful, ageless. Like, it's crazy how Black really doesn't crack. Like, it's just amazing the things that she's doing. The show 911 is amazing. I've seen a few episodes. I haven't really got into it because I have like this whole DVR list that I'm going down that I'm stuck on right now. So, yeah, but have you seen it?
So I haven't seen it, but now I'm like, I want to watch.
Yeah,
I
to see
really
what's
want to
going
watch.
on because there's so many episodes of that. Like you can just binge watch a whole bunch of those.
The girl who does her hair for that show,
So cute.
Yeah, the little pixie wig.
Mm-hmm.
She was doing my hair at one point.
See, that's where you get the little cute little cut from.
She's super good. But she was just saying Angela's such a pleasure to work with. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think she's very deserving too. 450,000 per episode.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money, but I'm so happy to see people that
Yeah.
look like us, like in these roles and like,
Mhm.
earning what they're worth.
Yeah, but even starting from the beginning with just every movie that she's been in, you just know, okay, yeah, it's undeniable. She's gonna get everything that she's asking for because she's just everything she does is worth it. She earns that. She's
Definitely,
earned all that.
definitely. But and I just want to give everyone their flowers while
Hmm.
they're still here. All the people that we mentioned, Angela, LeBron, Jay-Z, all these people who, we grew up with, who, we watched on TV, reached this phenomenal status by working hard, using their talents,
Yes.
seemingly, being good people.
Hmm.
We don't know them personally, but just like doing the right thing and being a positive role model for the Black community.
Yeah, even LeBron with the school. I don't really watch a lot of basketball or anything like that, but I know he has the school with those kids in it. So anybody that takes their time out to do something like that with their own money just needs to be applauded. So yeah, I
Yeah,
just think that's an amazing gift to give to someone else.
I think so too. And that school is in Akron, Ohio, where I'm from.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and I agree. I think education, that's one of the best gifts you can give a person is
Mhm.
education. And what I love about the school, it's not for like prestige or it's not um, a private school that you have to pay tons of money for. It's actually for underprivileged children, children that have a hard time learning. So like, there are specialized classes and teachers in place for these kids who really need someone who cares,
Yeah,
someone who
the
takes that
way it should
time.
be because, yeah, the way it should be because sometimes they just throw those kids away, the ones that aren't learning as quick as the rest of them. And, so yeah, this is needed.
It's very needed. I went to school with so many people who fell by the wayside just because people wrote them off as a lost cause before they even had a chance. But I
Hmm.
think it's a great thing what LeBron's doing, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so proud of our people.
Yeah,
Um,
we're doing so good. Who told them lies about us? Who said them lies?
exactly, and I love that he's changing just the stigma behind like a Black athlete and what they
Yeah.
represent, because he gets a lot of flack for not being college educated, which to me is insane
Really?
because I feel like white people who are able to achieve millions, that wealth in general,
Mhm.
without going to college, they're applauded because that is amazing to be able to.
Yeah, like he didn't even go to school and he got all this and didn't even go to
Exactly.
school. The thing that I don't get most of the time when those athletes are in school, they're not making them do their work. They have them there just because, oh, he can run and he can jump and he can
Mhm.
tackle, and do all the other sports stuff. Like, they're not having them there because he's smart. They don't care about all that. They care about his doggone running abilities, athletic abilities. So, who's to blame for that? So,
I was on a previous episode. I was talking about how sometimes our young Black boys they become the victim of false hopes, like what do they call it, hoop dreams and things like that, where they put their lives into basketball. And sometimes if they don't have father figures, these coaches are their first father figures.
yeah.
And they sell them these dreams. I had a friend who was in college and he was going to school. He was always a good student, but basketball was definitely his main focus. And they really thought he was going to the league. And when
Yeah.
he didn't, literally did not hear from any of the coaches anymore. All of that support that he was getting kind of just went away.
Yeah,
And
they're just using you for what they can get from you. If they can't get that, you wouldn't be around. They came around you for a reason. They didn't just come around you because they like you and they want
right,
to be your father figure. They came around because you know how to play whatever sport they're looking for. So yeah, once
right.
you can't do that anymore. And then another thing is when they get hurt or whatever, and all their dreams, like no one's giving them a backup. No one's saying, maybe you should look at this as a backup. Maybe you should look at computer coding, or maybe you should look at construction, or, you know, carpentry, or, you know, a trade or something. No one's telling them to look at other things that they could do to better their lives if they get hurt. You know, they're just saying, you know, this is your one dream. This is it. This is all we got, baby. We're going this way.
Right.
We're not
You're
going
gonna get us out of the out of the ghetto.
yeah, you know, you're gonna get us all out of here, the whole family, and they're putting all this stuff on these kids' shoulders. And then when they fail, it's like everybody's like, I told you he wasn't gonna make it. I told you he wasn't gonna be nothing. So, you know, it's kind of,
I feel like it causes a lot of depression. I've seen it. I've seen the effect that it has on like young Black men who feel like that's all they have, and nothing else can fulfill them.
yeah.
But yeah,
because they were always being yelled, you know, go, 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 so and so got it. They can handle everything. They can run so fast, and they were always given these accolades and, you know, all these things. And then when they can't do those things no more, they don't have nothing else that someone's gonna, you know, congratulate them on, because they haven't done anything else. They don't know how to do anything else. So, you know, everyone should have a backup. Have a backup.
Definitely. And there's nothing wrong with entertainment. Black people, I think, honestly, we're just naturally entertaining. Yeah. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to be a singer, a dancer, an athlete. But just know that we can be so much more. I have a sister who's a doctor, and she's literally been in school my whole life.
So, yes, you have to. Like, goodness. You're in school forever.
Yeah, we can achieve anything. So even becoming a billionaire, and that's all. Like, that's what I love to see. That's why I love to see these people become billionaires, doing what they love to do, because we can become wealthy and we can get our families out of bad situations, everything, just by doing what we love to do and working hard towards it. Towards anything, you know,
no bounds. Yeah, there's no bounds on anything anymore. Before it was like, oh my God, a Black person doing that is crazy. You know, now it's just like, yeah, we can just do whatever, so it don't even matter.
Exactly. But I did want to talk to you about some music.
Ooh, music.
Yeah, who from the new generation are you digging? Who are you feeling these days?
There's like so many people that I like that are, it's not a lot of like hip hop or anything like that. I do like Giveon. He has a lot of nice, soulful, sweet love songs. I like Sir, I like Her. I like, you know, anything like, you know, that is just like good, like mellow, cleaning music, you know, just something I know that I'm not gonna break my hip trying to, you know, dance to or something like that. I don't know, I haven't listened to a lot of, you know, I kind of stick to my Mary J. Blige, my Faith, you know, I'm back in my 90s kind of music, stuff that I know the words to. What are you guys listening to these days?
You know what's funny? I'm officially getting to the age where I don't know what's new anymore. Like, I hear people and I just like, what the heck is that? It's my little cousins, my nieces and stuff that's keeping me hip. But I'd have to say, out of the new generation, I'm really digging Doja Cat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like her though. I think she's cute. Even with the little mood song, it was kind of annoying with the little mood thing, but I'm like, okay, whatever. But I do like the songs. I like the Best Friend song. I think that's cute.
Yeah, she definitely ate on that one. Yeah, she's really, really talented, even with the mood song, which I think that's why she was able to cross over.
It was creative though with the mood song.
Yeah, it was very creative.
Cute, and she's cute, so that kind of helps everything, you know. So yeah,
her body seems to be natural. Like, I watched the Best Friends music video, and like, compared to Saweetie, she definitely looked more natural in as far as her body goes. But I just think she has a lot of raw talent. She can sing, she can actually perform. She has stage presence. She just embodies a lot of those things we haven't really been seeing with the new generation.
She's creative. She's just an entertainer. It's like the spotlight's always on her, regardless of what she's doing. You're thinking like, okay, what's she about to do? Even if she's just sitting, not doing nothing. Like, okay, just because she has that kind of spark that, you know.
That spark that I miss so much, because I just feel like these new artists, they don't have it.
They don't have that hunger or something. They just don't have like the, you know, I don't know. I don't really, there's not really a young, that I say, unless it's like a slower song. I like, you know, like the Daniel Caesars. I love like, you know, music like that where they can just put some words together and sing some, you know, and you just be like, oh my God, I love you. And don't even
like you said, I've been in my 90s bag too.
Yeah.
Ask Chris, I'm always listening to old music. The other day somebody was like, you're always listening to church music. I'm like, this is not church music. This is real R&B.
I know, like real slow R&B music where you're just sitting there thinking, like, oh my God, that's so true. That happened to me.
Exactly.
Yeah, like church music. What?
Yeah, it was obviously someone from the new generation. Maybe somebody who likes someone more like DaBaby or something like that.
Yeah.
How did you feel about all his recent shenanigans with Rolling Loud performance? And
I don't know. On one hand, I think he's just trying to, like, he's young. He's trying to prove like all this stuff to everybody that he can say what he wants. He don't give, you know, he don't care about what comes out of his mouth, and he just like, whatever. I'll apologize. I'll take it back. I can say whatever. You know, it's just like he's young. And on the other hand, I'm thinking like, man, appreciate where you're at now from, you know, I'm saying where you started. Even if you don't care what nobody says about you, you can do what you want. Even if these are your words and you got your audience and people love you or people hate you, regardless, remember where you came from. Like, remember what you was doing before you made it big and how you hated that. Remember the reason why you wanted to be there so bad. You didn't want to be in the situation you was in. You got to kind of, you know, start appreciating the shit that you had, you know what I'm saying? And where you're at right now, instead of trying to, you know, get rid of, because you can lose things so quick. There's so many artists that came on, were so big, and now you're just like, oh yeah, I remember that person. Where they at now? You know what I'm saying? Or what happened to them? Because, you know, they were gone so quick.
That's going to end up being him, the way it's looking. Just because, I mean, for anyone who's not familiar with what he said, I mean, you should be by now.
Yeah, by now it's like on everything. And I just think the reason with him is because he is a big artist. There is a reason why people, you know, are canceling him. If he was nobody, you think they'll be like, let's cancel him. Nobody would know who he was to cancel him, you know?
Right.
So he is like a bigger artist, and people are trying to like, okay, bigger artists than him are coming out saying, like Elton John and Madonna, oh, that's wrong what you did. You shouldn't have said that. You think they're really going to say something to somebody that they don't know or care about that's a big artist? Yeah. There is something to him that everybody likes. That's why people are speaking out about it. But you can only help yourself. You can't help, you know, someone if they don't want to be helped, and he apologizes and he takes it back. If you love him, you love him. You're going to stick with them. If you don't, you're not going to stick with them. That's just how things are these days. If you like somebody, you don't care what they say.
Yeah. You know, even with Doja Cat.
Yeah, because she said some stuff and people are still like, oh my God, Doja Cat, you know, people were loving her before. They was like, oh, she's racist, you know, racist. She says these things. She says these, you know, when she was talking to these white guys, she was saying, you know, these little, I guess racist things or whatever. I don't know. And people were hating her for a while, and now people love her. I'm just like, it just depends on like.
But she also took, I remember her responding to it, and it was very much taking accountability.
Yeah.
Unlike DaBaby, who pretty much was just like at first saying, oh, I don't feel the need to apologize. Then I do apologize. You know, I support every community, and my friends, I had gay fans who were dancing and vibing with me. And then it went to like, oh, my fans don't be on that. So, you know, like just back and forth, and just like no accountability.
If you're gonna apologize. If you're really sorry, and you don't have to go back. Yeah, you don't have to go back and forth if you're really sorry about something.
Exactly.
It's just like, you know,
and I thought it was such a weird statement just to make in general. I understand a call to action. You want to get the crowd hype, but that to me, I think he would have just been better off saying like he was drunk or high or something.
Yeah, he should have said something like, you know what, I went to this club, and you know, the DJ was getting the crowd hype, and he was just saying all this stuff, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna say some stuff like, I mean, say something better than whatever. I'm grown. I say what I want. You know what I'm saying? Right. Don't just, you know, say something like, yeah, I heard it in this club, and you know, I thought I could say some stuff. I don't know, say something that's not going to be as bad as, you know.
But definitely take accountability and apologize if you genuinely mean it, because
don't just throw around, I'm sorry, you know, and then don't really be sorry, because then people are like, he don't give a shit. He doesn't care if he's sorry.
That's how it comes off. Yeah. And I also feel like another reason why people are on, first off, they're making an example of his celebrity, because like you said, he is popping, whether you like him or not. He's popping. He was just performing on the Grammys with Dua Lipa. Forgive me, I do not know how. I don't know how to say the girl's name, but she's very popping. She's a big pop artist right now, and she even spoke out against him and said she can't support it. And I believe they had like a back and forth on Twitter or whatever. But people are definitely holding him accountable. And then you have people who are like, oh, I want to educate him. To me, he's 29 years old. While he is a new artist, he's old enough to know better.
Grown-ass man. He's still an adult. He still knows right from wrong. He still knows what he's supposed to say. He's not of the younger generation where they're just like, oh, I just didn't know. You know. You heard something about it. You know something about something that you ain't supposed to say. So some of the bits and pieces of something that he said, he knows that he's heard that he shouldn't be saying none of that stuff anywhere else. So you know
exactly.
So, and we can't tell him nothing that he already knows, though. It's like we can't sit and be like, oh, you are wrong. He knows that he's wrong. But I think it just depends on his fans, his people that loves him.
Yeah, because I mean, they've been supporting him thus far, despite the fact that he said a lot of other things that I felt like he should have been canceled for. He's done things. He's hit a woman, you know, he's said other inappropriate things. There's just been like countless times where he's hit somebody, assaulted somebody, insulted somebody, and just has not been.
So he's probably just like, you know what, I haven't been canceled for all those other things that I've done, so why would I be canceled for this?
Exactly.
So it's mostly his fans and his people that still listen to it. It's not the people that are canceling him, because if you're not listening to it and his people still are, it don't even matter because his people still are. So
well, we see that with R. Kelly.
Yeah.
He has a strong fan base.
He really has a strong fan base. And I used to be a really big R. Kelly fan when I was younger. When I was like 14, 15, you know, whatever like that. But I'm just like, come on, y'all. His music's good, but what was he doing like in those songs? Every song I hear now, I'm like, oh my goodness. You think about, is this about like a young kid? Is this like, all these Black people, they got young kids. You know what I'm saying? So Matt, you're just thinking like, what was he doing? I'm not all about judging. Oh, you can't judge this man. Yeah, you can when it comes to your kids. You can judge whoever you want when it comes to your kids. And he's singing about some young kids. So it's like sometimes when it's about Black women, Black girls, people don't jump as much and people aren't as shocked about the things. Oh, them fast tail girls. No, that's a grown ass man. He was grown when I was 14. So I'm just like, come on now, that's a grown man. These are young girls. So if you're saying those are fast tail girls, like who is teaching them to be that way? Where's their parent, or where's whoever? I'm not saying blame it all on the parent, but you can't say, it's all those kids' fault, all those girls' fault, whatever happened, between them and R. Kelly.
Did you watch Surviving R. Kelly?
I watched like up to, I don't think I've seen, it's some of the episodes I haven't seen, but I have seen the majority of it. And I'm just like, what in the world?
I'm not gonna lie. Before watching it, I definitely was like, I don't care. I love the music. I'm gonna still listen to it. I'm gonna separate the music.
But did you separate the music from him, like the things that he did?
After watching that, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't listened to him since. Yeah, and it's because all of the girls. While I can say that it doesn't sound like from any of their stories, there was never a time where he like forced himself on somebody. It was always the manipulation. It was always they were starstruck. Like, this is R. Kelly. It seems like he did the same tactic with each girl. Oh, let me open up to her.
Yeah, that's his grooming tactic.
Exactly.
He other people, he's like, oh, they like my music, they like my singing. Ooh, let me sing a little song. Let me get them over here. So he wanted to do to get those, young girls, impressionable girls, wherever he needs them to be, he got them there. So yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But that I can say that like after watching that, and I brought that up to say that you're absolutely right. When it's a Black girl, people aren't as quick to jump. They don't care because Chance the Rapper even said on Surviving R. Kelly that he always heard about R. Kelly and the things he was doing. We all did. Everyone knew about what he was doing.
Everybody knew about the tape because you were like, but I haven't really seen it, or I seen it and it was just grainy video and you couldn't really tell like if it was him or who it really was. And why would he do that? Why would he pee on that girl? Are people really doing that? Because back then, no one knew about nobody peeing on nobody. It was like, well, why would you pee on somebody? That's gross. So why would someone really think that he was peeing on somebody? That was just in my head.
And then he's also, he's R. Kelly. So it's like, why would he need to resort to these young girls when
he didn't have anybody
who are in love with him?
Yeah.
So after that, I was like, wow. But Chance the Rapper said himself, he's like, it's because they were Black women that you don't see them so much as victims as you would a white girl
if there was like one white woman thrown into the mix or whatever, it would have been like, oh no, he did not rape all these girls.
They would have saw to it that man went down.
Yeah,
because these are Black girls. No one cared. Everyone's saying, "Oh, you wanted it," or like you shouldn't have been. You know, like it always. There's a tendency, and the more I was looking into his story and just his upbringing, they were saying that I watched an interview with him, with his brother Carrie Kelly.
Yeah.
And he was just saying how they were all molested or like.
Yeah, they were all molested and he couldn't read. And it was just a lot of stuff that, and so you think about, dang, he was put through a lot and he did all that stuff to someone. And then you feel sorry for him because you see why he was like that. If that didn't happen to him, would he have done it to someone else? But then you think, okay, there's people that those things have been done to and they haven't went and done any of those things to,
Right. Because his brother seemed, and I don't know, but he seemed pretty level-headed. Like, for everything that he went through, you could just tell that he didn't think it was okay to do those things to other people. And he was like, he definitely needs to be held accountable. I was there. I know what he went through. Like, I was going through the same things, but still, he needs help. And that's what he was pretty much saying. Like, if you guys want to help R. Kelly, if you care about R. Kelly, get him help. Get him help because he needs it. But yeah, just separating the artist from the music. A lot of people are saying DaBaby isn't that big, or he's not good enough of an artist to
separate. I think because he hasn't been out so long. I guess he came out and he just got he brought his fan base with him. I don't know. But But he's like really popular and he's, it's just quicker than, it usually happens for people. Maybe that's what they're thinking. But I don't know. I just feel like you haven't reached that status yet to where, because I know a lot of, young rapper. I don't know a lot, but the ones that I know, it's the ones that are like big, and there's a reason why I know his name, because of all the controversy, not because of the music. It's not because of his songs and I know all the song, all his lyrics or anything like this, because of his controversy. And sometimes these days, that is what makes you popular. The things that you do, the things that people know you for. Just like with what's her name, Bad Baby, the girl that was on Dr. Phil. She's like a millionaire now or something like that, they were saying. And it's not because of her music. It's not. I don't know her because she did anything fancy. I know this girl because she cussed her mom out on Dr. Phil. That's how I know her. And so I'm thinking, is that how this generation is, getting their money now? Is this how things are going to do? Going on Dr. Phil cussing out their mom? Because that ain't something we do over here. You ain't cussing out your mama. So I just feel like the way she got her money is just it's just different to me.
Definitely. This new generation, it's definitely about traction to your social media. How many views can you get? That's even how entertainment, the industry is going, where they'll choose somebody with a bigger following over somebody who is actually talented just because of the audience that they have.
Following, and it's so weird when you turn off your phone, like none of those people are with you. That's why I think that so many of these big time people were depressed during COVID, because you're not out doing all the spotlight entertaining things that you usually do. You're in home, you're quarantined, you're by yourself. You're seeing that you're not who you are on Instagram or social media. And it's totally different. You're with yourself and you're seeing like who you really are, your real self. So I think that social media is just doing a lot of harm. I grew up when we didn't have no phones. We didn't have cell phones. We had a landline. I used in class, we had a computer. I mean, what is it? A typewriter. We didn't even have a computer. We had typewriters. So I'm just like, I can go without having my phone and being on social media and stuff like that.
It's insane how crazy it's gotten, because I can even say that like it's affected me.
Yeah.
And I would say that I definitely noticed the difference in my confidence before social media and after. And when I think social media, because I grew up with MySpace. I was 13 when I had a MySpace, and then Facebook, I was there for the beginning of that, Twitter. So I was there for the beginning of all of these, of the whole concept of social media, really. But Instagram, I think, is when it was like, okay, everyone's on this app trying to look their best. Everyone's trying to like, it's a highlight reel. Everyone posts their positives.
Yeah, their best pictures and everything just looks.
Everybody looks incredible. And I can honestly say, like, I noticed a shift in my self-esteem.
Really?
When social media came out, because before I would post a picture and I'd be like, oh, you know, I wouldn't think twice about it. I'm the shit.
Yeah.
But now, you think like, now you're looking at a picture like, dang, is it good enough? Is it well lit? Is it gonna get likes? Is all these things that I wouldn't have thought about before, because none of that mattered to me.
Because everyone else is face tuning and doing all kinds of stuff and just like sucking it in, and they're really like walking around just like you. And that's what it makes that's the thing with Instagram. It just, everyone looks like they're living like this fancy life, and you get on there and you're like, damn, all these people are rich. Yeah. All these people have all this money and they're just so fancy and just everything is so great with their lives. Like, how is that possible? I knew her. I knew this girl. Like, how is this going on?
Exactly. I knew this person.
Yeah, I just seen her yesterday and I don't remember all this stuff, you know. No. And that's when it really, the reality, you're just like, okay, whatever. They're phony. They're playing a game when you see these people and they're just like, you know, oh, really? Okay.
And take the filters with you.
Yeah, you should.
You go to look in the mirror and you don't look like you do with all the filters on. And now you're trying to, now there's so many people who just get plastic surgery. It's the normal in Ohio. Like, there are just people who are getting BBLs and things like that, which is outrageous to me, because when I first moved out to LA, just the fact that girls younger than me were just so open about getting surgery, I was freaked out. Like, I'm just like, I can't have a casual conversation with you about this. Like, this is normal to me. I told this girl who, she was 21 and she was telling me how she gets lip injections because she doesn't like her profile. And I was just like, you just don't like one angle of your face and you're getting surgery? And she's just like, yeah, like, you know, it's totally fine. It's half a syringe. She was just it was so normal to her. And at the time I was like telling her, like, in Ohio, no one gets surgery. You just have to accept the way you look. Yeah. But now, 4 years later, BBLs are like the new thing in Ohio.
That is so crazy.
And it's because of social media. I feel like people really
everyone looks the same though. Everyone has the same bodies. I know when I was growing up, you couldn't have no big lips because you was getting talked about for, oh man, I got talked about because my lips were big. Yes, until like, man, I was probably like 26 when people started really getting like in lip injections, doing that stuff like that. And yeah, people had those teeny tiny little lips. I remember when I was younger, I used to practice doing this in the mirror. So my lips could be like tiny, like all the people that I went to school with, because my lips were bigger. And there wasn't only the, you know, Black people who have bigger lips, like if they're different, you know, brown skinned people or whatever, different nationalities. But like if your lips weren't teeny tiny like the white people, you was getting teased. I remember that because I had big lips. They weren't messing around with no big butts. You weren't gonna have no big butt. That now big butts are a thing. People are putting butts in their butt. It's just weird. It's just weird to me. I don't get it. Like when I was like, there was none of that, and I don't hold nothing against nobody that wants to do anything. I just don't get the butts because you're sitting on it all day. It's something you're sitting on. So you're putting something in there that you're sitting on. So you're maneuvering it, that thing, and it's just going to flip in and out. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how the butt was, how they do the butt.
And it's crazy because literally your lips, like they would take a picture of your lips and say, I want my lips to be exactly like that.
Which is crazy because no one's ever said that. Nowadays people will say that, you know, are those your lips? And I'm just like, what do you mean? Are they my lips?
You.
Yeah, of course they're my lips. Who else lips would they be? But now you just have, it's like a question people think is a normal thing to ask somebody because I don't know. Back then, when nobody messed around, you was not walking around with no big lips and being happy and free and loving yourself. Oh, you love yourself and you look like that. with them big old soup coolers. Yeah.
And that's what I try to tell my niece, because I can see how the social media era has really affected her, because she's so
Really?
beautiful. But she tells me how she has really bad anxiety and how she's really just nervous around people and all these other things. And she told me one time, like, if she posts a picture and she doesn't get like a certain amount of likes in a certain amount of time, like she'll delete the picture, because that's just how
time.
Yeah, like if she posts a picture and it's been 20 minutes and it only has like 2 likes, she's gonna delete it, because
I wouldn't have no pictures on none of my stuff. I post it because I like it. I don't know. It just doesn't, I don't know.
And that's how it should be. That's how it should be. And like I said, when I first got on Instagram, that's how I was. It almost feels like you shouldn't post a picture if you don't look your absolute best anymore. Whereas before, I was posting pictures like, hey, hot chocolate,
I'm here.
like,
look at me.
Right, exactly. Now it's about looking your absolute best, and I see the effect that it's having on the younger generation, and it just makes me scared. Like, what are the long-term effects? Everyone's depressed.
They have to be perfect in this perfect lifestyle. No one's working at McDonald's or Burger King. We all just got these fancy jets, and
everybody just skips to $20 and
no one's struggling. Like, you got to go through the struggle. You got to start from the bottom. You got to get you a little Geostorm and then move up to whatever this, the Tesla or whatever fancy car you don't just start off and just wake up with, everything just happening, unless you were brought up in a life like that. I love this struggle. I love the struggle that I went through, because then I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have known that I could do something on my own. When you're younger, you're just like, I'm grown, I can do whatever. I'm undefeated. And then you realize that you're not. And then when you get older and you realize you went through all that stuff, and you was like, man, I can do anything on my own now. You're not really, you got to go through stuff. You can't just jump the line.
That's what I tell her. And it's crazy, because you see yourself in them, because it's just like, I used to be worried about this stupid stuff. And now, I realize how much time I wasted when I could have been appreciating myself, loving myself. I just try to tell her, like, for example, these things that you're freaking out about, these things you want to change about yourself, they're going to be in style in 10, 20 years. And then you're going to regret that you.
Definitely. Because all this champion stuff and this FUBU stuff, or, all this stuff that's out now, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's stuff that I wore back then. And then I should have just kept all that stuff and just sell it like wholesale or something. Because
exactly. Everything comes back around. Everything goes in and out of style. She's a stick figure, and I'm like, girl, you gonna gain weight, and then you're gonna regret it. You're gonna be like, hey, I wish
you're gonna wish you stayed a stick figure. You're gonna wish your little shape stayed the way it is, because now you can't get rid of those hips. Because I know, oh my God, I can't get rid of these hips, and they're my mama's hips, so I know they're not going nowhere. So stuck right now.
Well, I will take those gladly if you're.
That's what I said. I need some hips, and now I got them. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get rid of these hips. So yeah.
Well, it's been so great talking to you. I do want to partake in our last segment, which is Tay Says Try This, and this is where we just name an item, a brand, anything that you feel more people should know about. So it can be a show, a movie, a podcast, self-promotion. What do you want the world to know about? What's going on?
Well, right now I'm trying to get more into doing more auditioning and stuff like that. I've made myself a little social media. I made myself a blog and everything, just to get myself back into the swing of things, because I don't really like being, I don't know. It's just weird how I just want to do like so much stuff, but I don't want anyone to see me do it. So I'm just like, I'm hiding in plain sight. So I'm trying to, get myself more out there. So I've been doing a few like, just readings and audios and videos, and like some industrials, commercials I've been doing for these companies, like diversity videos. And I've done a few, company videos and stuff like that, just something to get me more comfortable, because usually I'm doing like something where it's just my voice and you don't see my face. And so sometimes I always think like I have a voice or a face for radio or something, because I don't like going through the whole thing of having to get ready for stuff. Like I got to do hair and I got to do makeup. That's like young me. I love that stuff when I was young. Oh, I got to do my hair. I got to do this. And now I'm just like, where are my glasses? Where are my glasses at? I can't see nothing. And so now I'm just like, I don't know. So I'm just trying to get myself more visually out there instead of just like auto, on
Yeah.
audio stuff. So,
You
I've been doing the Blackbirds audio series, listening to that. We've been doing that together, which is cool. So, I'm trying to get out there, not, hiding behind the bushes anymore, just hiding behind
like
stuff.
that.
Yeah, so what have you been up to? What are you doing now? Where can we find you, Shantae?
So as I've mentioned a few times on the show, I have a performance coming up. It's actually my boyfriend's performance, but I'm featured on one of the songs, Molly in Miami. So we'll be performing on August 25th. I'll put the link in the bio so that you guys can buy tickets if you want to come through. It's going to be at the Mint LA. And I also want to shout out Blackbirds, which is an audio series that Eric and I have actually reviewed, we listened to, and I think it's absolutely phenomenal. It's written by Andre Coleman. The voice actors are phenomenal. As Erica mentioned, she's one of the voice actors. It's so amazing, guys. You'll absolutely love it. And I'll put that link in the bio as well for you guys to check out.
Yeah, volume 2 is coming out soon. So get caught up on volume 1 so we can talk about it together. It's an amazing story with some amazing voices. You guys are gonna love it. So yeah.
Definitely. For my new watchers, if you guys could please subscribe. Again, hit that bell so that you don't miss future episodes. Like, and then comment, guys. Tell us what you want to hear us talk about. What do you guys want to, what do you guys want us to give our opinion on? Let us know.
What good audio series or audio books, movies, anything like that that you guys want to discuss and talk about? I watch a lot of TV, okay? We can talk about all kinds of stuff,
Absolutely. Well, as always, it's such a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for coming through to TaeTalk. And until
Thank you
next
for
time.
having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You're welcome here anytime. But until next time, guys, we are out.
Bye, people. Have a good one. Bye.